Yesterday, we got the unfortunate update that Tom Holland will not be reprising his role as Peter Parker Spider-Man for the upcoming Marvel Studios Spider-Man Freshman Year animated series on Disney+. But today we have a new update on this series, and I'd say it's more on the good news side of things this time, because we have a new leak and information coming at us from New Scooper on the scene. Can we get some toast? Yes, that's their name. I don't know who comes up with these names for these scoopers. I mean, can we get some toast? My time to shine, hello. There's some weird names out there. But anyway, Can We Get Some Toast just gave us some new information and revealed that the villains of Spider-Man freshman year are going to be the Slingers. Now, this is pretty interesting because in the comics, the Slingers are actually good guys. So I'm not exactly sure how this is going to play out, but for a quick overview of who the Slingers are, for those who don't know who they are, in the comics, actually, when Peter Parker, when Spider-Man is framed for murder, he can't go out as Spider-Man because, he's wanted for murder and everything. So he takes on these alternate identities as Hornet and Dusk and Ricochet. And then after he goes back to being Spider-Man, his name is cleared and everything. Blue Marvel, who we've also talked about recently, is coming to the MCU in the Marvels. Blue Marvel takes those costumes and those identities as kind of alternate Spider-Man type characters and kind of basically gives them away to 4 young prodigies who could become new heroes. So it's a team of young heroes. It's kind of like a version of the Teen Titans or like the Young Avengers, but like all Spider-Man-like characters. So it's really an interesting group that I never expected to see in the MCU, but especially not as villains. So that's the only confusing part, is how are they going to make them villains in this series? Well, we know that this takes place, again, during Peter Parker's freshman year. This is before he gets the Stark suit from Civil War, so he's still going to be wearing the homemade suit. So Spider-Man is new on the scene, and I'm assuming it's going to be something kind of like, alright, Spider-Man is this new hero, or just Bugman, or whatever they're calling him at the time. And you have these 4 other young people who decide like, hey, I want to be like him. And you have kind of these like Spider-Man copycats that maybe aren't straight up villains, but maybe they're just at least antagonists, and that's something we could be seeing here. And again, this is just interesting to me because I thought the whole idea of the Spider-Man freshman year series was that Spider-Man was going to be fighting lower level non-superpowered characters like Hammerhead and Kingpin, maybe get some Big Wheel up in there. So to be fighting characters like this, I just feel like it's an odd choice, but it is still pretty cool. And Can We Get Some Toast actually claim specifically that Hornet is going to be the first one to show up. So that'll be interesting. How this series is going to play out, because I was kind of expecting this to be a kind of like a week, like a villain of the week type thing. We might still get that, but I wasn't really expecting there to be like one overarching villain of the whole series. But apparently we're getting that just with the Slingers. So we'll probably get some other smaller villains in there, like hopefully get some Big Wheel maybe. I think that'd be pretty funny. But definitely some really interesting news. So guys, what do you think about this update on Marvel Studios' Spider-Man freshman year? Are you excited to see the Slingers as the villains of this Disney Plus animated series? So guys, thanks so much for watching. Please drop a like if you enjoyed this video, and hit the subscribe button so I can keep up to date on everything goes on in the Marvel life.